From Carol, how did Erickson get patients to visualize? Okay. Well, I've already talked about overlapping. Okay. Now, where you're visualizing, you're trying to recreate something internally, an internal representation of the external reality. So you use overlapping. He'd use overlapping, but he did something else. He used something called serial suggestions. This is kind of a linear set of sensory experiences, usually involving a journey. Now, I like the idea of journeys in hypnosis because a journey can lead somewhere. It can be initially like a journey into trance. You can have a journey like walking, a journey moving in some way, in an elevator or whatever, going up an escalator or whatever, a movement of some kind, going downstairs, upstairs. Any kind of journey involves a movement, so you're going from one place to another, and the destination can be wherever you choose you want the client to be. So serial suggestions is a whole chain of linear suggestions describing in an artfully vague way what that journey encompasses. So, there's a particular hypnotic induction I created called the 4 Seasons, which takes people through 4 different landscapes, each one related to a season of the year, starting in spring, summer, winter, fall, winter. Okay. And so there's a journey. They go down a hill, they don't walk along a beach, they go up a country road, they go into a cottage with the snow and everything in the winter. So it's an actual journey, which is itself an induction, but it also can be used therapeutically as well. So what Erickson did, he would make note of a journey that would be familiar to the client or that would be familiar to pretty much anybody. He would then create an induction or a piece of therapy based on that journey. It was a real journey for someone, something they had experienced or could experience if it's very general. And he described the things they would see, hear, feel, smell, taste on that journey at each step of that journey. And so that creates that 3-dimensional reality. And because they're moving through their internal reality, they're not just standing there, they're actually moving through the reality. It evolves as a new internal reality for them as they take the journey. So it becomes more and more absorbing. That's how we used to get people to visualize. Now, I give you an example how you'd use that in therapy. I had a client who came to see me and he had agoraphobia, but it was a very interesting kind of agoraphobia because he was okay going out at nighttime on empty streets. But as soon as you put people into that, he had a problem, and the daytime was worse because there's more people, and he found that really difficult. So it was a kind of a social phobia combined with an agoraphobia. And this was in a town called Chelmsford, where I had a practice way, way back in the 70s. And so it shows how far this goes back. And I went out one evening, after he came to the first session, I went out one evening and I wrote down everything I could see about this journey walking through the town centre. Okay. Now, he could already walk through the town centre when it was empty. That wasn't a problem. He was a little nervous, but he could do it. So I wrote down all these details. So I knew that journey really intimately. And then when he came for therapy, I put him into hypnosis and I took him through that whole journey as he had done reasonably comfortably the first time. Okay, no problem. He'd taken it, but now he's doing it inside his head rather than for real. But because of all the details, the overlapping, he's actually there in his own mind. So we're setting the foundation for what's to come. So we did that. And then next time I took him through the same journey again, but now I added some people to it. And I gave him some resources, some feelings of confidence and strength and positivity and all the things that would make him feel more positive. We did that as part of the therapy before we took the second journey. Okay, added some people and then found out how he's responding with idiomotor or head nods, how comfortable he was or not comfortable with it. And of course, he's not actually taking the journey. Think about it. He's not actually taking it. He's only taking it in his head. So it's not fully tested out there in the real world, but it actually is a kind of a dissociation because it's not in the real world. There's a dissociation. So he's able to kind of cope with it more easily because it's not actually there. Okay, so, and we kept doing this and adding people, and then we made it daytime until he could walk through the town in the daytime. In between these sessions, I would go with him and walk through the town. And at different times of day when there'd be more people to see how he was responding. And I think it was helpful that I was there because I was also kind of like an anchor for comfort because we'd done that work. And that's how I used Erickson's technique to help this person overcome his fear. So that's an example of serial suggestions.